For the past 2 decades, 3 teams have dominated the Turkish football: Beşiktaş, Fenerbahçe and Galatasaray. The 2000s started with Galatasaray being the best team in the UEFA Cup, bolstering players like Claudio Taffarel, Hakan Şükür and Gheorghe Hagi. And then, it all came crashing down with Beşiktaş scoring only 3 goals and conceding 19, not gaining one single point in its Champions League group stage of 2021-2022. How did it get to this? Sadly, it is pretty simple. These 3 teams have piled up hundreds of thousands of euros of debt, and they were bailed out by the banks again this season with the promise of restructuring their finances over the next 10 years. The Turkish teams wanted to further compete internally and in Europe. So, they have amassed debts, buying and paying low amounts of wages to players who are at the end of their careers, but could make a difference for them. Roberto Carlos, Didier Drogba, Wesley Sneijder, Miralem Pjanic or Mesut Özil. These are examples of players being paid a lot of money in order to play for the Turkish clubs. And it did work for a while, but the plan was not sustainable, which leads us to this situation. I don't know how they are going to approach it in real life, but in FM I would start by cutting the wages and focus on youth players. You don't need Sofian Feghouli or Ryan Babel at Galatasaray, Alex Teixeira or Domagoj Vida at Beşiktaş, Mesut Özil or Luis Gustavo at Fenerbahçe. The idea would be to make the clubs not be so reliant on players past their best. Turkish football has flourished with players in their prime. After reorganizing the wage bill, I'll focus on building the youth systems. Scrolling through all the Turkish clubs in the Super League, almost none of them has decent youth systems. And even the national squad points to this. The results we have seen recently are directly influenced by the lack of talents coming from the Turkish clubs. The team is still relying on players approaching the end of their prime era. If you would manage to set up the youth system of the club and increase its level, that would guarantee an influx of Turkish talent. Players who could be developed and sold over time in order to make the club sustainable. The chaos created by the financial disarray has crippled the big 3 from Istanbul, and I don't know how this will be fixed in real life, but in the game you have the chance to create a super club. Restructuring the wage bill, focusing on youngsters, and implementing good transfer market strategies would make the club you choose to manage the best one in Turkey, and slowly you could rise in Europe again as well. The approach we have covered in this video can be applied to any of the teams in the Super League. The debt situation is present for most of the clubs at different extent. If you choose to manage a club outside of the big 3, then this would give you the chance to surpass them while they are restructuring, so you could make your club be the best in Turkey. However you choose to manage in the Super League, it provides a platform for a long and satisfying save. And if you manage to have decent cash flow, make sure to scout players. To help you out, make sure to watch this video next about Asian Wonder Kids. I am Alex and I thank you for watching today's video. As always, dear audience, stay safe, relax and have fun.